Ty Bartell, Anthony Hartwig, another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head over to Trumbull County with the champion Golden Flashes girls basketball skipper Michael Cole. Coach Cole, how we doing today?
Real good. Exciting time of year. It's always good to get started.
How are practices looking for you guys? I mean, you have a chance to get a few under your guys' belt now. What have you been seeing in practices early on?
Last year we had a bit of a numbers issue. We only had 12 active players, 13 overall. This year, at our most, we've seen 21, and so we have a lot back from last year. We only lost one senior in Gail Metters, and then we gained a pretty hefty freshman class. A lot of girls in that group, very competitive group to add with our sophomore class, another good group, and then our two classes of upperclassmen who will probably be rounding up most of the varsity.
Coach, the story of last year, unfortunately for you guys, was just hampered by injuries. A lot of them, especially in the first half of the season, where it just held you back from doing things that you wanted to do. Now that you have the group that you kind of envisioned last year with just one senior, you have almost everybody back, and cross your fingers, everyone stays healthy. I mean, what are the expectations of this season going in, knowing that last season was hampered so much by the injury bug?
Well, I don't focus too much on last season and the idea of, there are injuries. We try not to make any excuses, and we use it as a way to try to become better basketball players. We did a lot more individual type stuff, knowing that we were going to go through probably a rougher season than we were used to. As for expectations, every year we always want to contend for the league, but I said it before, I love the tournament time. District final games, getting regionals, those are type of the things that I want to accomplish.
What are your takeaways from last year's team and what you're bringing back this year as far as points of improvement, what you liked and what you want to see take the next step?
Last year we put a lot of pressure on our guards. In Bella Meyer, Kayla Haney, and Addie Warzela, they're all back, and all have looked fantastic so far. They're just leading it. They're just better leaders after what they went through last year. This was uncommon for them because even if they're not in basketball succeeding, two of them play softball, and there's just a ton of success. They're used to very successful seasons. So I think they learned a little bit last year. This year, it's an odd team in the fact that we can go very large in size, but we're not as fast. Or I can just throw some fast kids out there and fly around. So, we're kind of tinkering with some things right now, almost like we're two different teams at times. And then you just mix the bigs with the smalls at times, and you can just do whatever you want. So there's going to be a lot of, there'll be some highs and some lows and some things that we throw out there that don't work and some things that we really like. So right now we're experimenting with different lineups and seeing what sticks.
Coach, you mentioned a few players, and obviously we know a lot of faces on this team, but I want to have just a little bit of a meet the team segment where you go through the roster, give us some big names on your squad, and let us know who to watch this season.
Okay, we're going to start off with our seniors. We have returning Bella Meyer, top scorer last year, about 18, right under 18, top rebounder, a little bit over 8. For her size, she rebounds quite well, and a very good three-point shooter. She does a lot for us. Fantastic athlete. Follow with her was Kayla Haney, who's about 10 a game. Very good shooter. Streaky, but when she gets set up, she can knock them down, like, incredibly. I had a massive game against Liberty last year where I think she hit 8 threes. And then my other two seniors, Delaney Schlesinger, very physical, very good offensive rebound. That's probably the one thing that she does the best for us, and she's a pretty good shooter. And then we finally get Carly back, Carly Easterday, who's a very big post player, very strong, probably around 6'1". Had some massive moments as a sophomore. In fact, I always tell her we would never have gotten to a district final game without her. She played an incredible game against Kirtland, and then she missed last season with injury. So those are my 4 seniors. Dipping down to the junior class, Addie Warzela will be running point for us. Very strong defender, great leader. Actually has shot the ball and has attacked the rim. It's fun. It's nice to see everything we've worked on in the past and they get a little bit more confident as they become upperclassmen, and things start to come together, and they're starting to come together very well for her. Riley Doan played a lot of varsity last year, about a 5'11" post. The thing that I've seen her improve the most on is she's really starting to go after the boards, and her offensive moves down low has become much better. She's looked really good in practice. And then we have two new to the programs, but champion kids. Kennedy Caldwell, who is a fantastic volleyball player. She's decided to come out and look good all summer. Really good shooter. She's gives us another 3-point shooter, which is nice. And then very athletic and long. And we get a transfer from Southington, who's a champion resident, but Sam Strock, kind of like the thing that we probably needed: toughness, physical, just relentless on defense, just works incredibly hard. She's been a pleasant addition. And probably the last one we're looking at for varsity times, we have a sophomore that put in just a tremendous amount of work. She's one of those kids that, you rarely have this as a coach, as a kid that just doesn't like where she's at and just works her tail off to get to the next level. And she's really improved. She'll be getting a lot of varsity moments, but we still have a pretty solid group of other sophomores, and our freshman class was very talented. Now they got to come in and prove what they can do, but we still got a few more slots left on that varsity, and we got a lot of options.
I'm really excited to see Carly Easterday get back to business too in the post as well. I've been rooting for her success for a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. Did Addie have chances to run the point last season as well?
She ran a lot of point. Now Bella has ran some point, but I think Bella's preference would be to be off the ball, and she's let me know that. So, yeah.
When you talk about Addie, though, being able to come back into this role as a point guard, does that enable you to do more things with the team now that she has that year under her belt, getting comfortable with the point?
Yeah. Like I said, she can handle, even if we are feeling pressure. I got 4 girls that can handle the ball. And with the 2 softball girls, and Addie and Bella, they can make passes. A lot of girls can't. So it puts a lot of pressure on teams that want to try to pressure us. But yeah, Addie Warzela she just knows what to do. She's confident. And the thing with her, she's strong. She's physically strong. So when you have a physically strong point guard, she doesn't get pushed around too often.
Coach, let's dive into the schedule. Obviously, this MVAC grade tier has been very good for the last several years. We expect it to be very good again. Teams like Garfield, Liberty, Crestview, obviously very good. When you think about this league, Newton Falls, et cetera, everybody in the MVAC grade tier, what do you expect from it this year, and where do you see Champion, sitting in it?
And I'll go through each team just a little bit. Obviously, Crestview won the league last year, district finalist, return a lot of scoring, a lot of size. They're definitely going to be right up there with anyone. People could say they're the favorites, and there wouldn't be much arguing. Follow that with Brookfield. I know they lost a lot. A lot of these teams have lost a lot of guards, but they still return players. Brookfield has one of the best players in Wellman, some other pieces that can play around her. Garrettsville has a fantastic sophomore with some veteran players. They're going to be a tough out. LeBray, I don't know if we know in the league they got a lot of young talent. And it's going to start off, it all depends on, you expect them to become a whole different team after January, because it takes the freshmen just a little bit of time. But after that, those kids usually catch on very fast to the speed and the physicality change. Newton Falls Baker has always got their kids ready. If you can't control tempo against them and they get you into that type of game that they like to play, you're going to be in for a dogfight. Liberty's got 2 fantastic guards. I've always liked the lefty and Parker. Very athletic, good scorer, good shooter. And then Camel, we saw Camel over the summer, and they've improved. They got, Diamond, they got that solid, strong post. She does a fantastic job. So, yeah, it's going to be every night you're going to have to come, and, it's, where do I see us fall? I imagine a lot of people think we can be near the top. I would like to be near the top and playing for a league title.
You talk about the league, though, but I look at your non-conference schedule, Coach. I'm seeing teams pulling. You're going up to Cleveland, too. How do you feel about the non-conference slate and the opportunities to test your girls this year?
We've done after my first or second year. I realized you just got to beef it up. You got to play these teams that are going to push you around a little bit. And it helps you. It doesn't help you in the win-loss always, Colin, but by tournament times, I always feel like we're seeing teams that we've seen before, like whether it was a division up. Yeah, we got Howland tournament. We'll see some teams there, Poland. Even though they're D4, JFK is going to be fantastic this year. That's going to be another big challenge. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Coach, when you think about this schedule, and not only these really good talented teams, but I also see teams that play different styles of basketball. Talk about how much that'll prepare you for the tournament as well. Seeing different teams that can do different things to you, different defenses, different tempos, things like that.
Yeah, we have to have a sample size of how to deal with things. Like I could tell them it's best if they experience it themselves. Just to say, hey, these are the changes we have to make for this type of team. Now, I've always been more of I don't care what other teams run. I'm going to try to enforce my will. And that's usually done defensively through a lot of pressure. And we're going to bring some of the pressure stuff that we ran in the past. We'll be coming back. But like I said, there's going to be times when we look huge on the court and we're probably running some slower type, safer defenses to pack. And then we might just flip it up and throw 5 little kids running around like crazy out there. So, it's nice to have those options. We just have to see what works.
You're doing such a great job with this program, considering the tough league that you guys have to fare in each and every season. But I know a coach is only as good as the people he surrounds himself with. So shout out the assistants and the rest of your staff that are going to be on staff this year.
Okay, we actually have a new assistant, Allie Gumont, former player. She's come in, and I know at times it's hard for a younger coach to kind of just jump in there when you got 2 old dudes barking around, but she's starting to come out, out of her shell. She's getting a little bit more confident. By halfway through the year, I'm going to see her, especially in practice, start to take over, which is what I kind of like at times. Her main thing right now, though, she has built great relationships with the girls. And that's huge for me, because, I got me and Coach Mo. We're just kind of 2 old crusty dudes. And if I'm being honest, and it's not always easy for high school girls to relate to what we're saying. So it is a great bridge of the gap from that. And then my other coach is Coach Mo, been around forever, like 30 plus years. He's the grandpa of the team. He brings the girls together. They all love Coach Mo, and he brings a great amount of fundamental knowledge to our squad.
Coach, we know you get a lot of community support. I want you to get them ready for the first game. When is it? When can they come see the Flashes for the first time?
We are the day after Thanksgiving at Lakeview.
Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. Lakeview's got a young, very talented team coming up, so that'll be a very fun test for you guys.
Be very interesting
to open the season.
A little rival game too, right down the road. So.
What I like to round out these interviews with, Coach, it's a running theme this year. It's the love of the sport that unites us all, that brings us back each and every year, whether we're on the sidelines, on the floor, in the press box, doesn't matter. Where did the love for the sport of basketball start for you? Do you have a pinpoint moment, a time period that you remember?
1985. I mean, I was just starting. I was a youngster in elementary school. I don't know. I played every sport, and then I picked up the basketball and started doing that. And then I've always been the type of person that whether my dad or my friends like a team, I have to like the opposite. So my dad was I am who I am. My dad was a huge Lakers fan, and it wasn't very hard to love Larry Bird. So that was a big year for me, just picking up the ball and starting to watch more on TV. So yeah, a few years ago.
We love it, Coach. We love it. Like I said, it's that love that unites us all each and every season. I know me and Anthony are both so excited to see this Flashes squad get back out onto the hardwood. It's going to be so fun to see how you guys fare in that conference and outside that conference. I know both myself and Anthony will be there to catch some games, so we'll cross paths.
Hey,
down
I
the season.
appreciate everything you guys do. It's fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Hey, we appreciate you just as much, Coach. This has been a first edition of Coach's Corner with the skipper of the Flashes girls basketball team, Michael Cole.